Guys, over the last few years, we've seen a surge in content creation. I create content, you create content, we all create content. But there's just this one thing that we always need, which is a studio. Today we're going to be taking you on a tour of our podcast studio, which is also a multi-purpose studio, so you can have a guide to set up your own studio. We're going to be talking about lighting, camera, sound, settings, and post-production. So stay tuned.
Hello guys, so right now we'll be talking about lights. And why is lighting important? Lighting helps to give your room the ambience, and it also helps to illuminate your room. So there are three types of lights. We have our main light, we have our fill light, and we have our practical light. So your main light is usually the brightest light. Your fill light is a little bright, then your practical lights are in the background, which helps to give separation between you and your background as the main person, right? So in our studio, we have three lights here acting as our main lights. The first light we have is the Tolly 400 watt light, and this is connected to an iron rig up. So the beautiful thing about this Tolly 400 watt bi-light is the fact that, number one, it has bicolor temperature. So what does this mean? That means you can go from warm lights to daylight light. So your warm light is usually around 3,200 K, and your daylight is usually around 5,600 K. Another really cool thing about this light is that it is dimmable. So that means you could go from 10% light intensity to 100% light intensity, allowing you to fine-tune the intensity. So it's really cool. It's a really cool light, and it's also portable. Also, we have our Amaran 60DS lights. So we have two of those in our studio, and some of the cool features about this light is that, firstly, it has a color temperature range from 2,700 K to 6,500 K. So it's really flexible, and you can use it to create different lighting effects. You can also dim it. So just like our Tolly 4 light, this one is also very dimmable. So you can go from a very high intensity to a low intensity. It just depends on what you are going for. Then lastly, for our practical lights, we have our non-light lights. And the cool thing about this is that this acts as a practical light, and it helps to give separation between us and the background. So this can flicker, this can change to different colors, just anything you want. It has multiple colors. It also has natural lights, white lights, as an option for the lights that you have. So I really think this non-light light is very good, and you should also get it. You could also get a lamp, just anything to act as a practical light, just to be in the background to give some kind of separation. So guys, that is a wrap on lighting. So these lights have varying prices. You could check online. But the more cheaper options could be your ring light, which, almost everybody uses nowadays. You could use your ring light. Then for practical lights, you have different options. You could have your lantern, your lamps, you could have your neon lights, just anything you want to have separation between you and your background and to create a really cool effect. So that being said, comment below which lights you'll be going for.
Now we're going to be talking about cameras. Hold on, I know you're already thinking money, but that's not the case. Yes, cameras are a bit expensive, but we also have phones. You can start off with your phone, your Android, your iOS, whichever one that you have. Over here in the studio, we use the Sony FX30, which is just an amazing camera, and it is great for our wide shots. The Sony FX30 is a compact cinema camera, and filmmakers, content creators, anybody can use it. The image quality is top notch. The autofocus, it uses the advanced hybrid autofocus system, Sony's advanced system, and it is And it is also good for stabilization. So if you're recording something that has to do with a lot of movements, you are using the right camera. Now, it is also compact and lightweight, and we can record with this camera for over 2 hours, almost 3 hours, about 2 hours, 40 minutes. And you do not have to worry about overheating. Why? Because it has an inbuilt fan, which just makes sense. So for connectivity, you can connect your HDMI, your USB, and also a 3.5mm audio jacks. I mean, why not get this camera? Why not? So this is what the wide shot looks like. As you can see, it can capture up to 3 or 4 people or more, just depending on your setting and also your lens. For this camera, we use a 16mm Sigma lens. So this is it. Now, for the close-up shots, we use the Sony ZV-E10, which is this camera, and as you can see, it's all close and personal. The Sony ZV-E10 has a wide-angle 16 to 50mm power zoom lens, and it also has a built-in microphone and headphone jack. It uses 4K video recording at up to 30 frames per second, and it's a full HD video recording at up to 120 frames per second. It's a very powerful camera, and as you can see, you can use it. This is this close because of the lens, which is a 56mm Sigma lens. So you can use the lens that comes with the camera, or you can get a closer or wider lens. It's also a very good vlog camera. So if you want to, move around and just, let us see what you're doing, this is also the perfect camera for you. And you can have this on the main host, or depending on how many you have, you can have it on the main host, you can have another one on your guest, you can have another one on your co-host if you have one. So it's all up to you.
So right now, guys, we'll be talking about the sound. So there are different aspects to cover in sound, and the first one is your room treatment. So in our studio, we have our sound panels. We have 2 of these covering the former windows, not the former windows, the windows. And this helps to block external sounds from entering into the studio when you're recording. I mean, you don't want someone shouting gala, gala, gala by the side and it will get into the recording. So these are really good. Next, we have our rugs, our carpets. So carpets are really good when it comes to absorbing sound. So I think you really want to invest in a good carpet, right? So with that being said, or microphones. And the first one we have is our Shure SM7B, and this one is for the main host. The beautiful thing about this microphone is that it's a dynamic microphone, which means that it will help to give durability and to your sound, and it's also resistant to feedback coming from external factors. So secondly, we have our Rode pod mics, and for the Rode pod mics, we have 3 of these for the co-host and for the other guests. So the really cool thing about our Rode pod mic is that it is also shock resistant and it has a pop filter, and this helps to achieve a professional quality recording. And it also has a durable construction, and it's made of durable metals, and it's made to last basically. It's also really affordable and a great option because your Shure SMB7 is quite on the expensive side, so you could go with that. And to also add to what you have, you could use your wireless mics. So what we have in our studio is the Rode Wireless Pro mics. So this helps for if you have like an external guest, if you have more than 4 guests, because our studio we have 4 mics, so you could add that to help to capture the sound. And it's just a really beautiful option to have in your studio. So next, we have our XLR cables connected to our mics, and for the XLR cables, we have 4 of them running to our Rodecaster Pro 2. And the Rodecaster Pro 2 is really handy. It comes in handy for different reasons. So it's user friendly, and it has a touchscreen interface, and it has an advanced sound processing capability. It's versatile, and it comes with customizable sound effects, and it can be integrated easily into any recording software that you're using. So whether you're a podcaster, a musician, a content creator, the Rodecaster Pro 2 is your all-in-one solution for professional quality audio production. So if you need to elevate your audio experience, the Rodecaster Pro 2 is your go-to for this. So another cool thing you have about it is that it has 4 mic inputs for our Rodecaster. Then it also has 4 inputs for your headphones. So if you are recording an episode and you need to hear what you're saying, you could just plug in your earphones or your in-ear monitors and you're good to go. And it also has Bluetooth connectivity, so you can connect your smartphone, and that's really cool. And like I said before, sound effects and jingles, and Rodecaster comes with its own libraries of sound effects and jingles that you could use to polish your podcast or your streams. And another cool thing you can do is to record a backup of your sound. So let's say on a normal day you're recording and your laptop stops recording what you're recording. If you are using the Rodecaster Pro 2, this helps to capture the sound that you're recording and store it as a backup. So if you lose your recordings, you always have a backup in your Rodecaster Pro 2. From the Rodecaster, we have our output systems. So the first output we have is our Shure headphones, and they are studio graded. So that means what you're hearing is very close to the actual sound that is recorded. We also have our studio monitors from Alesis, and they are really good, really beautiful. So guys, having really good studio treatments combined with good output systems like our headphones, like our speakers, would really do you a lot of favor and would save you a lot of stress in the future. So if you can do that, please invest in really good studio output systems. With that being said, please comment down below what you'll be getting.
Okay guys, we've spoken about a lot of things, including our sound, which we've been using the Wireless Pro mic.
Yeah.
And the quality has been great so far, right?
Yeah.
But
it could be way better.
That's right.
So I'm using the Rode Pod mic, and this is giving my voice some real depth, and I think it's really cool. And
yeah, so this is the Shure SM7B mic, and you can hear the difference in the quality of the sound.
Yeah.
So that's all on sound. Next, we're going to be going to settings, which is your background.
yes. So for your background, you could have anything. It really depends on what you're going for.
Yeah.
So you can have like a nature feel, depending on your vibe. So you can have a lot of plants. You have one here. If you're an art person or you really appreciate art, you could go for a lot of paintings. If you really like yourself, I mean, you could add pictures of yourself everywhere. So it really depends on what you're going for. If you want a dark feel or a light feel, knock yourself out.
Yeah, and it also depends on what you're doing. Are you doing a photo shoot? Are you doing a podcast or a random YouTube video? That can also influence what your background is going to look like. And also try to make it versatile, make it like something you can walk around with, something that, you can use one set for 5 different backgrounds and nobody can tell.
That's true.
Yeah.
So for now, this is what we have, and I think it's a B plane.
Yeah.
But with everything coming together, this is what we have now. So this is what we have now, guys. So what do you think?
Yeah. Camera check, lighting check, sound check, everything good, everything well set up. This is the final look.
Yeah. So Joanna, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Why did we set up the studio?
Well, this is one question I am very excited to answer.
Yeah.
And we set up this beautiful studio to introduce to you the Learning Insights podcast.
So over here, guys, we talk about everything education.
Yeah.
From what's trending to latest developments or news in the education space. I mean, people don't really talk about education or what's going on. And sometimes we don't know what's going on. But over here, you're going to know what's trending, latest news, how education is affecting you as a parent, how education is affecting your child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many interesting conversations are going to be going on right here. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, turn on post notifications so that when there is a new video, you are the first to know about it. We have a lot in store for you, and we cannot wait to go on this journey with you. And we also hope you enjoyed the tour of our podcast studio. We're going to attach a full video so you see how everything looks together, the complete studio, and we cannot wait to see you in our next video. But for now, we're going to say bye.
Arigato.